The United Mexican States is a federal republic composed of 32 federal entities, 31 states and Mexico City, an autonomous entity. According to the Constitution of 1917, the states of the Federation are free and sovereign in all matters concerning their internal affairs. Each state has its own Congress and constitution. The states of the Mexican Federation are free, sovereign, autonomous and independent of each other. They are free to govern themselves according to their own laws. Each state has a constitution that cannot contradict the federal constitution, which covers issues of national competence. The states cannot make alliances with other states or any independent nation without the consent of the whole federation, except those related to defense and security arrangements necessary to keep the border states secure in the event of an invasion. The political organization of each state is based on a separation of powers in a congressional system. Legislative power is vested in a unicameral Congress. Executive power is independent of the legislature and vested in a governor elected by universal suffrage, and judicial power is vested in a superior court of justice. Since the states have legal autonomy, each has its own civil and penal codes and judicial body. In the Congress of the Union, the federative entities are each represented by 3 senators. 2 are elected by universal suffrage on the principle of relative majority and 1 is assigned to the party that obtains the largest minority. In addition, the federation makes up a constituency in which 32 senators are elected by the method of proportional representation. Federal deputies, however, do not represent the states, but rather the citizens themselves. The Chamber of Deputies and the Senate together comprise the Congress of the Union. The states are internally divided into municipalities. Each municipality is autonomous in its ability to elect its own council. A council is headed by a mayor who is elected every 3 years. Each municipality has a council composed of councillors in terms of population size. In most cases, the council is responsible for providing all utilities required for its population. This concept, which arises from the Mexican Revolution, is known as a free municipality. As of January 2021, there are 2,454 municipalities in Mexico. The state with the highest number of municipalities is Oaxaca, with 570, and the state with the lowest number is Baja California Sur, with only 5. Mexico City is the capital of the United Mexican States. It had special status as a federal district until January 2016 and was originally called Distrito Federal. Mexico City was separated from the state of Mexico, of which it was the capital, on November 18, 1824, to become the capital of the Federation. As such, it belonged not to any state in particular but to all of them and to the Federation. Therefore, the President of Mexico, who represented the Federation, designated its head of government, previously referred to as the regent or head of department. However, the federal district received more autonomy in 1997, and its citizens were then able to elect their chief of government for the first time. In 2016, the Mexican Congress approved a constitutional reform eliminating the federal district and establishing Mexico City as a fully autonomous entity on par with the states. However, unlike the other states of the Union, it would receive funds for education and health. When full autonomy was granted, Mexico City adopted its own constitution and its boroughs expanded their local government powers. Mexico City is divided in 16 boroughs, officially designated as demarcaciones territoriales or colloquially known as alcaldías in Spanish, headed by a mayor. These boroughs kept the same territory and name as the former delegaciones. The second article of the Constitution recognizes the multicultural composition of the nation, which is founded upon the indigenous peoples. The government grants them the right of self-determination and autonomy. According to this article, the indigenous peoples are granted the nation commits to and demands the constituent states and municipalities to promote the economic and social development of the indigenous communities, as well as an intercultural and bilingual education. According to the General Law of Linguistic Rights of the Indigenous Peoples, The nation recognizes 68 indigenous languages as national languages, with the same validity as Spanish in the territories in which they are spoken. The indigenous peoples are entitled to request public services in their languages. Mexico's post agency, Correos de Mexico, does not offer an official list. Various competing commercially devised lists exist. The list here reflects choices among them according to these sources. On September 27, 1821, after 3 centuries of Spanish rule, Mexico gained independence. The Treaty of Córdoba recognized part of the viceroyalty of N.